is gluten-free cream cheese pound cake. All right, TNT Community, I wanted to show you all something that I was baking. I have a request for a gluten-free cream cheese pound cake. So I am about to make my first gluten-free cake, and I wanted to show you all. This is the flour that we're going to use. This is the gluten-free, and it's certified gluten-free, and we're going to use this in place of our wheat flour. My world famous white lily all-purpose flour. So I'm making this gluten-free cream cheese pound cake. All right. So the first thing. All right, the audio was just so bad on this video, guys, that I just had to come on and do this voiceover. So right here, you see my 3 sticks of Land O'Lakes butter, and we're going to put our sticks of butter in just like we normally do. That's what I'm doing at this time, putting them in one at a time. That's my Land O'Lakes butter. If you know me, you know I love my Land O'Lakes butter. So we're going to put those in as we always do, and just combine that. That's my whisk attachment that I'm trying to show you here that we're going to use, okay? And so we're going to get ready to combine this batter together. And what I'm saying here is that with this gluten-free flour, there's no leveling agents that we're going to put in. So we're going to use this whisk attachment, and we're going to whisk up this butter and sugar really well so that we can get some air to come into our batter. We need lots of air to come in so that our cake can rise. Because remember, this is a gluten-free cake, and it does not have any leveling agents in it, okay? So now we're going to get ready to whip up this butter. And right here, I'm showing you that Eric bought me a new recording device here, but it just didn't seem to work for some reason. So we're just going to do this voiceover. Now we're just going to cream this butter together really well for about a minute. And then after I put my butter in, I'm going to scrape down the sides. That's what I'm doing, just letting this butter just whip up. Remember, we need air in this recipe because there's no leavening agents. So now we're going to scrape down our sides. Come on, Teresa, get your spatula. We're going to scrape down our sides. Make sure our butter's incorporated in there. And then the next thing we want to put in is our 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. Because remember, this is a gluten-free cream cheese pound cake, okay? So we're going to put our cream cheese in, mix it with our butter, combine the butter and the cream cheese together for about a minute or so, making sure that everything is combined. And we always remember to scrape down the sides of our bowl. Okay, now we're going to get that cream cheese and butter together. All right, now that we're done with that, we have our Dixie crystal sugar. That's 3 cups. 3 cups of Dixie crystal sugar. And I'm just streaming that sugar into our cream cheese and our butter. I don't pour all of my sugar in at one time unless the recipe calls for it. But with my pound cakes, I like to just stream in my sugar, okay? And this is 3 cups of Dixie crystal sugar. Now, I know, you may want to use whatever sugar you use, and that's fine. I just prefer Dixie crystal, okay? So we're going to put this sugar in. That's the last of the sugar. And what we're going to do, we're going to combine the sugar, the butter, and the cream cheese. We're going to whip it. I'm going to turn it up, turn the mixer up so that we can whip this butter and cream cheese together, okay?
So after whipping that for about 5 to 8 minutes, we want to make sure that we're scraping down our sides in the process of those 5 to 8 minutes. At least 3 times you want to scrape down the sides of your bowl. And that's me showing you how we want that butter and sugar and cream cheese to look like. I like to say it should look like ice cream. Real creamy look. Okay? Now we're gonna take our whisk attachment out, and we're going to get ready to put in our paddle attachment. Well, I tried to put in my new beater blade that was sent to me, and it's so nice and pretty, but it didn't work well. And I think it might be because the type of KitchenAid that I have, it was not where I could, raise it up high enough or lower it enough. And so it began to kind of shake on me. And that right there is the spout part that you can put on your KitchenAid, where you can put all of your flour, eggs, everything poured in through the spout there. But as you can see here, we're going to try to get it to work for a few minutes and see how it's shaking and making a noise. And that, oh no, that's not it. That is not it. So I tried it for a second, and I realized that wasn't going to work. And it was really scraping down the sides, though, guys. It really was scraping the sides. And I appreciate Gary for sending that to me. And it didn't work on that. And so Eric said he was going to look in the back of the KitchenAid to see if it's something that we can either lift it up or lower it, whatever we would need to do to try to get it to work. So I'm going to try it for a second here, and it's just going to continue to shake, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So we're going to have to end up just taking it out. I tried it, as you can see. I gave it a try, but it's just not going to work. So we're just going to take it out, lift it out, clean it off. Of course, I got to get all of that batter off of there. We're going to get all of our batter and put it back into the bowl. I tell you, I hate that didn't work, because I really like that. I especially like how it was getting my sides correctly. So we took it off and put back on our whisk attachment to finish making our cake. Now, as you see, I have my 6 eggs that are at room temperature, and we are putting those in one at a time, making sure as each one is in that we're incorporating it into the batter. Okay, so we are putting these eggs in one at a time. And we're just making sure that egg yolk is combined into the batter, okay? And then we go on to our next one. So I say at least about a minute or so. We try to, and then I tried to put my spout back on. At least everything was not lost. We were able to put our spout back on and at least put our eggs into our batter. So I was very grateful for Metro Design sending me the beater blade to try. So I think it was just something on my KitchenAid that just wouldn't let it do right. So eventually we'll try to get that fixed. And that's just our eggs. And that's our last egg going in. Now we're getting ready to put in our almond extract. About a half a teaspoon of almond extract. And that's the little cake batter. I love my cake batter. About a half a teaspoon of the cake batter. And then I usually try to put at least a teaspoon of my vanilla extract. So that was 3 extracts that we put into our cake batter, okay? Now we want to scrape down the sides of our bowl. And now we're going to get ready for the next part, which is our flour. We want to put in our gluten-free flour. This is our gluten-free cake flour that we have, and we have 3 cups of that gluten-free flour, and we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. No, I'm sorry. We just have the 3 cups of flour because we don't have any leveling agents in it, okay? So that's just me mixing up the eggs and everything really well before we get ready to put our flour in, okay? And that's it. That's our flour, our 3 cups of gluten-free flour. And that's all that we have. This is why we were whisking everything for a long period, because we want to try to incorporate some air into our batter. So we're going to put our flour in increments. Because usually when we put our flour, we may put like half flour, half milk, half flour, half like that. But since we don't have any milk, we're just doing flour by itself. Okay, whisking that flour in. All right. Another third going in. Or should I say 2/3? We're going to combine all of that. Whisk all of that flour up that we have. Okay. Turn that up a little, making sure all of that's combined. Once again, we're getting air into this batter. See how we're whisking it and getting that air in? That's what we need. That's what we need to get all of this air. So with this gluten-free, you can just whip that as much as you want because you want air to get into that batter. Scraping down our sides. Getting it off of our spatula. And then this is the last of our gluten-free flour. And let's combine this. Start off slow because we don't want our flour to fly all over everything. And we'll flip it up a little higher. And one more time. And we're always cleaning. We're always wiping down because we want a clean kitchen. All right, let's stop it. Scrape down our sides. Making sure everything is incorporated in our cake batter. Okay, just like that. One more time. For about a minute, we want to mix it to make sure we have all of that flour in there. Now remember, I'm steady whisking this because we need that air. Usually you don't want to whisk your cake too much because you don't want to make it rubbery or too rough. But in this case, because it's gluten-free, we're giving it a little bit more air, okay? All right, that's it. That is it. That's our cream cheese gluten-free pound cake. We're getting all of that batter off of our whisk. And we're going to get our tube pan. Once again, we're cleaning as we go. And now we just have our spatula, and we're just going around the sides again, making sure everything's incorporated in our batter really well. Because we definitely want that air in there. All right, so we've got our pan that's been sprayed with Baker's Joy. That's me showing you sprayed with Baker's Joy. And now we're going to place our batter into our pan. Just turning our pan around so that we can make sure we get all of our batter into our bundt pan. I've definitely got to get me another bundt pan. That pan is old and it looks old. All right, so that's some pretty batter. It really looks just like any other batter. You know, there's no difference in looks as if you're looking for that. But it's a pretty batter. Our cream cheese gluten-free pound cake, it has pretty batter just like your regular pound cake. It's just the flour that you're using. And y'all know me, no batter left behind. Some people say, don't get it all. I get it all. No batter left behind. Because as I say, that's your cake that you're leaving in there. You need all of that cake. All right? Now, let's smooth out our batter. Let's smooth it out and try to even it out as much as we can. Now, what I did, I put this in the oven. I put it in a cold oven on 325. Okay, let's get some of these air pockets out. Gonna bang it up against the counter, get some of the air pockets out. And that's our cream cheese gluten-free pound cake batter. I'm going to put it in a cold oven on 325. And I'm going to cook, no. I'm going to cook it on 300. 300 for an hour and 30 minutes. On 300 for an hour and 30 minutes, guys, okay? And I'll definitely let you know how long it took. So, now we're getting ready to bring the cake out of the oven. There she is. That's our gluten-free cream cheese pound cake. Isn't she beautiful? That is a beautiful cake. So we're going to let her sit on the cooling rack and cool for a while. And then we're going to come back and turn her out. All right, guys. She's been cooling. And now we're going to get ready to turn her out. And that's what she looks like now that she's been cooling. You know how your regular pound cakes have that crust around them? She has that. So we've got our plate here. We're going to turn her out onto our board. That's our cake board. We're going to turn her out like that. And let's see what she looks like underneath. There she is. There she is. Look at there. Now we got those crusts around there that kind of want to come off. But that's a beautiful cake. That is a beautiful cake. Isn't she pretty? So right here, I'm just trying to push the those crumbles back up on there. But eventually I decide, you know what? Let's not even worry about that. Let's just get these little crumbles off of here because she's still going to be a pretty cake. So we're just going to go around her and just, I call it kind of shave that little edge right there and get those little crumbles off of there. See how that just comes off? Yep, just like that. Okay, we're just cleaning her up, just cleaning up the edges. I know some of y'all probably saying, Miss Teresa, you could have left that on there. I just wanted it to look more neater. And I felt like doing it like this would make it just look neater. Okay? Because as I said, I had a person call me and ask me if I would make this cake for them. So I didn't want to give it to them looking too rough. And I felt it would be best to just cut off all of the crumbs like that. Because that is a beautiful cake. All right? Now that we've gotten all of that, and she's cool, we're going to get ready to glaze her up a little. Make her look prettier. She's already pretty. We're going to make her look prettier. How about that? Okay? Now, that's our powdered sugar. That's 1.5 cups of powdered sugar that we have right there. My Domino's confectionery, and I have 3 tablespoons of milk. That's the 1.5 cups of Domino's confectionery sugar and 3 tablespoons of milk. I didn't pour it all in. I poured it all in increments until I can get to the consistency that I want. I didn't want it too runny, and I didn't want it too thick. So you have to keep working with it. And each person knows the consistency that they want their icing to be. So this is me putting in vanilla extract. That's about a teaspoon. And we're going to continue to mix this together until we can get the consistency that we want. We're just going to keep working with it. Keep whisking that sugar and milk and vanilla extract. Here we go again with some more milk. Okay, putting a little bit more in. Remember that was 3 tablespoons in all, but let's see if we use all of it, if that's all that we'll need. See, so we didn't even use the 3 tablespoons because we still had some left. So maybe about 2 tablespoons, okay? So about a 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar and 2 tablespoons of milk is what we used. And that's our vanilla glaze icing, okay? All right, now we're going to get ready to spread our icing onto our cake, okay? We're just going to pour it on. And as we pour it on, it will begin to fall. Isn't that beautiful? That is beautiful. fall, baby, fall. And it is fall. So fall, vanilla icing fall. And that's our gluten-free pound cake, guys. That's it right there. That is it. And now we're just going to wipe around the sides here because you can see the icing is falling. We're just going to clean that up. Just going to clean around our edges, make sure. Okay? Now, I have some gold spray, and this is edible spray, and it's gold. And we're just putting it on our cake, making it look prettier. It was already prettier, even more prettier. We just sprayed some gold spray on there, okay? Now, we have a happy birthday sign that's gold as well. And we're going to put that in our cake. Just like that in the center of our cake. And that's it, guys. This is our gluten-free cream cheese pound cake. Happy birthday, Prophetess Talita McDuffie. So, I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to cut this cake for you all. As I always cut them, and me and Eric, we sit down and taste them and let you all know how it tastes. Well, this was a birthday cake for a pastor's wife, and so we won't be able to cut her cake. But she said that she would take a picture the first when they cut it at her birthday party. She would take a picture and send it to us so that we could show you all what it looks like. Okay, so like I said, I apologize that we won't be able to cut it and taste it for you, but she's going to send us a picture of the cake once they cut it. And I hope that everybody will enjoy it. And I believe it's going to be a good cake because it looks awesome. So thanks for subscribing. Here's the cake. And here's the cake after it's cut. Let the journey continue.